welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Alexa and I do a lot of faith related videos and a lot of random videos in between. So today's video is going to be a faith related video, and then towards the end I'm going to be giving you guys like a thrift haul. Honestly, this is like really new to me as well. It was my first time thrifting. Stay tuned for that. So if you want to see what I got from the thrift store and you want to hear me talk about my faith, then just keep on watching. Okay, so my plan in this video was to talk about sin, what it really means, because sin is such a negative word. Even if you don't even believe in God, if you're of another religion, like honestly everybody knows what sin is. Like everybody knows. You don't have to be Christian to know what sin is. You know what it is, but it doesn't really matter to you. Well, you know what sin is. I feel like I don't have to explain what it is, but if you don't know what it is, go to someone and you say you're sinning, it's obviously a negative thing. Either you don't care about it, or to know that yourself, you would feel like failure or like worthless. You would just feel like a failure. And right now I'm talking through a perspective from someone who wouldn't be a Christian. Like I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. Like someone who isn't a Christian of any religion, trying to put myself in your shoes right now. Because I know you wouldn't sense yourself as being a valuable person because of the things that you know you've done. And that's exactly what people think in their head if you were to hear the word sin, or like someone were to go up to you and say that to you. I feel like sin in culture is like a failure at the same time. It's like when you're sinning, you're also a failure and you feel like you're not worthy. That's exactly what it is in culture. You know, sin and failure goes hand in hand. It's like if you know you're doing something wrong, you don't feel a sense of value in the place that you're in or in the position that you're in. And the way I see it, and I don't really see sin as sin, if that makes sense. I see it in another word, which is trespassing. I mean, of course, sin will always be a thing, and sin is a thing in the Bible. But for me, it's like sinning. For me, it's mostly like trespassing. It's like you're kind of falling off balance of who you know you are. It's like this is you, and then everything under my hand is like all of the things that you've done wrong. Like everything from like cheating to like maybe drinking to like maybe smoking to maybe lying to maybe cursing to maybe, you know, just everything and anything. And then all of this right here, like on top, who you could be without that relationship, who you could be if you knew your self-worth, who you could be if maybe you would stop drinking and smoking. It's like all of this, who you could be. This is every opportunity that you take to better yourself. Everything down here is, this is what you know you've done. Like all of this down here is where you know you're flawed in. And all of this is growth. This is what you could be without certain thing or without a certain someone. There's this website that I go to when I like study the Bible. I use that at the same time. And I read this off of there and I just want to share it because I feel like it's such a good point and I never thought of it this way. So I'm just going to read it to you guys. The idea behind the word trespasses is that we have crossed the line, challenging God's boundaries. The idea behind the word sin is that we have missed the mark, the perfect standards of God. That's exactly how I see it now. Like for example, if you were to go up to someone that is narcissistic or like stubborn and you would try to make them better, and it's like they don't really listen to you because to them, the people who are like narcissistic or stubborn or anything like that, they are their own standard of truth, like period. They don't want to grow. They don't want to see beyond who they are. Like they just want to stay right here because they're comfortable. It's like because you think you got you, because you think that you know everything and that you're right and you're never wrong, it's like you're challenging God's boundaries. And when you start to think like that, start to surround yourself with people like just like you. Like maybe you're stubborn and you'll be around people who are stubborn too. It's just like a cycle where everything fails for you. It's like you want to grow in God and you want to grow in being a better person all the time. You don't want to stay the same, because if you stay the same, you'll never be exposed to anything that's better than what you've had. So obviously I'm Christian. The God that I serve is perfect. I believe in a perfect God. Therefore, if I were to do something that I know isn't of God, or it doesn't connect back to who made me who I am today, then I would be missing his perfect standards that he has set for me. Because he would never let me settle for what's less than for what's best. The God that I serve would want me to be a better person every single day, to be more and more like him. So that's really the way I see it. I don't really see it as like you're sinning, you shouldn't be doing that. Because when you do that, it's like you're kind of holding someone hostage, but like on the inside, not on the outside. Like you're not really like outwardly physically like holding them hostage, but every time you say they're sinning or they're doing something wrong, it's like you're holding them hostage on the inside. They feel less than. They'll kind of spiral into someone who they know they're not. Trespasses speaks of man as a rebel. Sin speaks of man as a failure. Before God, we are both rebels and failures. Yeah, that's kind of going back to what I said. Trespassing speaks of man as a rebel, meaning that we constantly go against what God wants for us. Because of our own desires, we want to do things however we want to do it and not listen to anybody else. In the same sense, you're kind of being like a rebel. You're kind of living the life of, people say nowadays, like YOLO, you only live once, so therefore I'm going to do what I want even if it hurts me or even if it hurts others. It's ridiculous. Don't live life just to live it. Live life to grow. Live life to be better. Live life to be not bitter. Does that make sense? Do better. If you are watching this video, do better. You are better than what anybody says about you. You are better than what people think of you or what people know about you. You are better than that. It says, sins speak of man as a failure. And that's exactly my point. Sinning is like a negative word. Therefore, people will think sinning as like failure, as like you're worthless, you're not trustworthy, or you're a bad friend. That's how people see it. And in this perspective, now I'm talking like as a Christian. Before God, we are both rebels and failures. Meaning before we actually get to know who God is and before we actually get to have a relationship with Him, we were rebels. We felt like a failure. I also read this example off of the same site, so I'm going to read it to you guys. Once walked means it should be different for those who are made alive by Christ Jesus. A dead man feels comfortable in his coffin, but if he were to be made alive again, he would instantly feel suffocated and uncomfortable. There would be a strong urge to escape the coffin and leave it behind in the same way when we were spiritually dead. We felt comfortable in sin, but having come to new life, we feel we must escape that coffin and leave it behind. Period. This is a perfect example of what living in trespass and living in sin is. Even though in some senses people see it as a negative thing, but in this sense we're seeing it as you have missed the mark, the perfect standards of God. When we were dead, this is when God started loving us. He did not wait until we were lovable. He loved us even when we were dead in trespasses, providing nothing lovable to Him. And this is why I love God so much, because even when we don't feel value, He will extend His love towards us, even if we don't deserve it. He will always provide for us. This is the requirement for being saved. You must first be dead to every attempt to justify yourself before God. He who hears my word and believes in Him who sent me has passed from death to life. That's what John 5:24 says. By grace you have been saved, not by man's merit. Our salvation, our rescue from spiritual death, is God's work done for the undeserving. Boom. When you don't even love yourself, He will always pull you out of that and say, you are loved. God wants you to settle for what's best than what's less. God wants to transform you as a whole into somebody who you thought you couldn't be without Him. Sorry. Oh, Jesus. A gift of grace given to the undeserving. We are not even saved by our own faith, though faith itself is not a work, but by grace through faith. We cannot believe in Jesus unless God does a prior work in us. For we are binded by our own deadness and by the God of this age. And when I say the God of this age, anything that you put before God would be your God. If all you focus on is a relationship, then you're making that relationship or that person that you're in a relationship with your God. If you are in that whole manifesting the universe and all of that stuff, that's a God. You're creating this illusion of a false God in your head because you think the universe will provide for you, but the universe can't provide for you because the universe is dependable. God is dependable, but the universe isn't dependable. You can't rely on the universe to provide what you need, because if that was the case, then money would be falling out of the sky right now. Like literally, money would be falling out of the sky and I'll be over here like grabbing dollars and stuff, but no. And this is not me talking mess about it, but this is me opening your eyes. I can see why people believe in it. I don't know, it's like something normal to say nowadays. It's like I'm manifesting it, like the universe will do this and this, and I'm just like, there is 7 billion point something people in the world. Do you really think that the universe is going to grow legs, eyes, ears, and a mouth and say, this is what's coming for you in November, blessings are on the way for you? Like, what are you talking about? Blessings doesn't come from it comes from a who. I really don't understand where all of this is coming from. Honestly, I really don't. I'm not trying to talk mess about it, I'm just trying to be real. There's a whole God up in heaven right now. You know, sometimes I really wish that people knew God the way I knew God, because God has done a lot of things in my life that are unexplainable and that like I don't deserve them, but He's done it for me because He loves me. Why was I getting emotional right there? Whew, okay, anyways, let's move on. For we are His workmanship. God saves us not merely to save us from the wrath we deserve, but also to make something beautiful. God's love is transforming. God chooses you not because of, but he chooses you in spite of. A lot of people see God as choosing them as, I choose you because you're like this and I want to change you. No, he chooses you in spite of that. Just how you're in a relationship and that person will choose you in spite of what you've done. In that same sense, that's why God chooses us. Without Christ means to be without spiritual blessings, without light, without peace, without rest, without safety, without hope, without a king. Who is Jesus? Jesus himself is our peace. He has simply made peace between God and man. He is our peace. When life is being overwhelming, when things aren't going your way, he will always provide a way. He will always make a way. He will be our peace. In the midst of a situation, in the midst of darkness, he will be our peace. Okay, now I want to talk about my struggles as a Christian, because I feel like since we're on the topic of this, I might as well just open up about my struggles. I struggle a lot with like how I dress, and I struggle with like the music that I listen to, because I mean, honestly, I pray about it all the time. It's hard though, because like I think since I was like a freshman in high school, or like maybe like I've always dressed very seductive. It was worse back then. The way I dress now is not as bad as how I used to dress. You know, I try to be as modest as I can, but it's hard because how can I be cute and modest at the same time? And also, like, I love fashion. Like, I love clothes. I try to work on how I dress, but there are times where, you know, I feel like maybe I'm showing a little bit too much. I try to pick an alternative. Instead of wearing what I want to wear, then I can wear this and I feel just as good. But it's just really hard to find like that balance. Everything that you wear has to do with your confidence, so I struggle with confidence a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna sit here and say that I'm the most confident person in the world, because there's times where I do feel not as confident. I don't feel like my best. It's really just all about your confidence, and like you have to remember where your confidence comes from. It doesn't come from who you're with or with who you hang out with, the amount of money you have. Your confidence has to come from not within yourself, but from him. It can't come from within yourself, because you will only look at it through your perspective and not through God's eyes. To anyone who's struggling with confidence just like me, that's honestly my best advice. I would say that. Also, I struggle with like the music that I listen to. I grew up loving music. There is not a single day that it's the microwave, y'all. There is not a single day that I go without listening to music. Like, if I don't listen to music a certain day, it is not a good day. Honestly, back then, before I knew God, I used to listen to like some hardcore rap, bro. I would listen to, you know, those rappers that are like super into like having hoes and stuff like that. I'm gonna just say it. And they were talking about like booty and just inappropriate stuff. Horrible. Just horrible. I look back at times like that. Look at myself now. Now I listen to like pop. I listen to indie music. I listen to worship music too. Listen, I'm not where I should be, but I'm not where I used to be. I'm progressing. I'm getting there. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. Don't be like me. Be better than me. Don't be like me, please. I could think of 4 things that I struggle with, but 2 are like very personal to me, and I feel like I would save it for another video. Those are my struggles. Okay, so now moving on to the thrift haul portion of this video. So this past Sunday, which was yesterday for me, I went to the thrift store. And I'm gonna be honest, I am not a thrift store type of person. I actually found some really good tops in the thrift store. Let me get them. The first thing that I got, something special about it. It just says Oklahoma here in the front, and it's like a t-shirt. I got this shirt. It's like a basic maroon colored. I got this shirt right here, super basic. I actually found some really good brands. This one is from American Eagle. This is like a basic gray t-shirt. It's from H&M. This one is like the cutest one of them all. Basic t-shirt, but it says honey in the front. And I also got this from this store. It's teal blue and has like the lace detailing on it. This is vintage. So this is from Victoria's Secret. It's like a long satin dress and it has like little slits on the side, which I think is like really cute. And then it has that little tie here in the front. I will insert a video of me wearing this because it was cute. Alright, so this is the end of the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed filming this video for you guys. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel down below in the description. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Snapchat. And I also have a Depop where I'm selling certain clothes that I don't want anymore. So if you want to buy anything from me, that will also be in the description. Thank you guys for watching to the end of this video, and I will see you guys in the next video.